Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations 2017. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Welcome to my YouTube channel or live in Athena's Creations on Facebook. Tonight I've got some special handmade cards and a fun little giftable using the kit contents and some of the leftover pieces. I always like to think outside the box every month when I put my paper pumpkin together and share some new ideas and thoughts and all the things with paper pumpkin. And that reminds me, tomorrow is the 10th, which means October the 10th. Every 10th of the month is the deadline, the cutoff. So if you are interested in getting the paper pumpkin for October, tomorrow is the last day to subscribe, add more kits, or suspend. The October one and November start the holiday season crafting kits. Now this one's kind of the fall one. I love it. Lots of great tags of thanks that I'm going to use tonight. The stamp set for this one, sign design, and there's a lot of others, but this is the kind of like the fall, Thanksgiving, really nice kit. And October is the start of Abundant Joy. And there's some new Abundant Joy dies that will be available. So this kind of gives you an idea of what's coming. You definitely want to subscribe to October. It is going to be an amazing kit. I'm very excited about it. I think I might have added a couple of extra kits just because it's always a fun and easy way to get your Christmas cards done. Everything you need is included in all of your kits, the paper pumpkin, all of your adhesives, all the different things that you would need to put the kit contents together. So I always like to do some alternatives, and I do have a few of those tonight, so I'm going to share those with you. I think we're going to start with the 3D project, and then we'll do the 8 or 9 cards. So typically I like to do the cards as is, but these are absolutely amazing, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And I did cut them all up and make some fun alternatives. I even brought in some Darling Duckling paper because I don't know if you can kind of see. You can kind of see there's a little bit of that color, but on the back, not only does it show you everything that's in there, but it will tell you, which is fabulous. It helps us out. Trying to figure out what the colors are, all the coordinating colors, and of course the coordinating dies. I did do a few of those as well. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll put the camera down. Sometimes I can see comments and sometimes I can't. So for some reason, the past couple of weeks, I've not been able to see the comments, but just know I'm going to see those later and I will respond. But thank you again for joining me, whether it's on Facebook, on live, or the replay later on YouTube. All right, I think we've got everything set. I hope. All right, let me just move my chair here, a little short. So the circle of season dies. These are the dies that I've been using. In fact, we're using some of this die tonight for this kit. And we turned the strawberry from September, I think it was, or August, into the fall. And then we've got this nice circle die cut. And these are great dies that coordinate with 3 paper pumpkin kits. And starting with the month of October, the Christmas kit, the Abundant Joy dies. I'm pretty sure this is going to be in the October kit. And that's like the Christmas card kit. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that one. So if you have any questions, just reach out and we'll be happy to help you. Meanwhile, let's get started. I did have all of the templates and all the things. I don't know where I got those. I had those. This kind of reminds me, this fun little gift treat box, whatever you want to call it, kind of reminds me of the old-fashioned, and I guess I might be giving away my age when I say this, but the little bitty milk boxes that we would get as kids a few decades back. And it's the perfect size to hold all kinds of candy. You could probably do a Halloween. You know, there's just all kinds of possibilities. And I think with this one to me kind of looked plain. I like it, but I think what I'm going to do tonight is I think I want to put thanks on here and maybe add some of the, looks like those are the ducks. I think I want to add a little something there. So again, holds all kinds of, you know, a whole bunch of little Tootsie Rolls, candies, probably candy canes, all kinds of fun stuff. It can hold some little gifts if you don't like to give the candy and stuff. But I mean, it's a pretty good size. And then of course I have my template because I have to have something to help guide me along. Now the paper, you can see it's absolutely adorable. I mean, it's two-sided. And in fact, one of these I cut down. This is like the front and the back. And so although I didn't use this piece, there's certainly something I could probably play with it and make. I just decided to cut them into card fronts on some of these. And literally, this is the only piece left in this kit. That's how much I played with it. And then I got out some retired paper and embellishments and things like that. And then a couple of little tiny pieces. Otherwise, I used most of the kit contents of the kit. And I was going to use my negative piece in a blending brush, like for the envelopes. I made myself a little note so that, you know, sometimes I throw these away, but you could certainly use these for a template for like your envelopes and things like that. But the card fronts on all of these, absolutely gorgeous. So, and I even changed it up. But I like to, you know, bring in other paper and supplies that coordinate. There's actually a suite that coordinates with the Fall for Toil. I didn't get that one. I knew I was going to get the kit, and I love all the stamps. Most all the stamps, except I think for one, are on a block that we're going to use. So these are the beautiful stamps that are with it. You can use these year after year. These are wonderful stamp sets that come with all the kits and all the paper pumpkins. Enough talking at you and chattering. Let's get started. So what we've got here is the little pieces that I had cut. And basically for this, what I did was I got my handy ruler and I just measured approximately, you know, what I was going to need, and that's how I cut it up. And that's how I ended up with this piece, because I just cut the little bit that I needed for the, you know, 2 boxes that we're making here. And then let's see. Okay, so here's the piece of cardstock, and here's my template. I did white because if I have a template in white, I can go back and see all of the measurements later, and it's easy to refer to. And then I can make this fun little box for, I don't know, Easter, Valentine's. I mean, you can make this stuff for any kind of treat thing that you can think of. And what I want to do is stamp. Like there's 4 sides and only 2 sides are going to be shown. So I'm going to have to figure that out with you tonight before I actually put it together. But we can definitely do that. And then, of course, you can either stamp or add, you know, your extra cardstock. I had already put the box together when I realized I didn't want to use this cardstock piece all 4 sides. I should have stamped first. So that's what that's for. There's always a fix. You can always, you know, color on color and stamp that way. I always like to give you all the tips and tricks and things. And, you know, I learn things as I go along as well. And here is the piece of, it's right here. I'm going to have to order some more. I'm almost out. It's Basic Beige. This is a really nice fall color that I think goes with pretty much any of the colors that we have. And we are using Pecan Pie, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, and Darling Duckling. All right, for those of us who are a little challenged with measuring, I always like to give you the little cheat sheet, if you will. The designer, or the designer paper, the cardstock. Ooh, go get a Spot. That's my puppy. Sorry about that, my little fur baby. This time of day, everybody's walking their puppy because it's a little bit cooler outside. And, oops, sorry about that. It just seemed like this was tilting a little bit. But anyway, my little puppy likes to run outside, and he might do that a couple of times. Sorry about that. You can always fast forward, I guess. So here's, if you want to do a quick screenshot, and in our group, I will share all the still shots later and everything. But basically, you need a piece of cardstock that is measured 10.5 by 6 1/4. Now, on the 10.5 side, you're going to score at 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. Then on the 6 1/4 inch side, you're going to score it at 2.5, 4.5, and 5 3/4. Then if you want to add some designer paper, the measurement for that is 2 3/8 by 1 7/8. And this is my little cheat sheet. So 2 3/8, that is basically 2 1/2 back 2. Sometimes I don't know if it blurs when I bring it up or not, but I just wanted to show you as close as possible. 2 3/8. So that's like 2 1/2 back 2 is the 2 3/8. And then 1 7/8, it's 2 back 2. 1 7/8. I don't know about you, but I must have really been sick or missed out when it was time to measure in math class back in grade school a few decades back, because I've been really challenged with all of those fun measurements. But there's tools and tips and things that, like I said, I like to share with you. Hold that for you if you want to do a quick screenshot. It's really simple and fun to make. I always like to bring in some kind of a 3D thing when I'm doing paper pumpkin. To me, it just kind of expands the possibilities, and it's fun. I really enjoy it. So we're going to get just a regular pair of scissors out. Not my ribbon scissors, just some really sharp scissors. My ribbon scissors, I always put my little piece of ribbon. That means the only thing that touches this pair of scissors is ribbon. No paper, nothing else. It's forbidden. So it stays extremely sharp. So be careful. You get really, you can really injure yourself. One of the things I almost always forget is I need to burnish the score lines first. That's really, really important. And the reason for that is because when I go and cut and then I try to assemble, sometimes it's just too stiff if you haven't done all the scoring. Let's see, there's another one over here somewhere. Okay, here we go. That one I scored it kind of light. There we go. Now when I use the thick white, it's really thick. This one's just regular cardstock. But when you do use the thick white, you're gonna have to score it a little, put a little more effort into it, a little more muscle, because it's really stiff. We've got this little piece up here at the top. Just make sure that's nice and burnished. That bone folder has multiple uses. All right, so this is going to be the top of the little crate box, whatever you want, this thing that you want to call it. And then this is going to be the side. And, you know, used to it, I thought it would matter on what side that you scored, just as long as your 10.5, you've scored it this direction at 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. And then your 6 1/4, you score it at 2.5, 4.5, and 5 3/4. So whether it's this side or it's this side, it's still going to be the same cutting. Does that make sense, hopefully? So basically, I've turned it over, and we are going to cut this piece and actually get rid of it. We're not going to even need to use that one. And I don't necessarily need to have the top of these two notched like that. I don't remember why I did that, but when I put it together, you'll see you don't really need that notched. And that one doesn't, I don't think that one needs to be cut. But we do want to cut this piece here because all of these are part of the bottom of the box, or the carton. I guess it's a carton. Because these are going to be the flaps. And so you just want to kind of give it just a tiny little notch there. And a tiny little notch over here. Just like that, just a little notch. Same thing, a tiny little, except for this one. This one's going to stay solid. But we're going to notch all of these right here. Just a tiny little bit. These are a lot of fun to make. There's so much potential with these cute little boxes. Whoops. Cartons. I keep calling it a box. I've been making a lot of boxes lately. Getting ready for the holidays and stuff. Because that's fun. I used to do craft fairs, and I mean, this stuff would be super fun to make for craft fairs. I guess my last craft fair was right before COVID, actually. So it's been a hot minute since I did craft fairs, but really to be successful at craft fairs, you have to go to one that advertises every single year. Otherwise, it's not as successful. All right, just a little notch, just so that when you put it together, it's just a little bit easier, okay? So now, we're gonna put our tear and tape right here. And then we're gonna, but before we put it together, we're gonna do our stamping. So I need to figure that out. So we'll figure that out together. Just dawned on me almost. I almost did what I did before. All right, so we're basically, when we're ready, we're gonna fold it like that. We'll take this tear and tape off, and then we'll just fold this right on top. Let's kind of have an idea of where this is gonna, where we're gonna fold it in. Let's take a look. Now see, I notched the corner there, and you don't really need that notched. All right, so it's gonna open. Let's see what we're gonna do. Because I want to make sure I do my stamping first, but I only need to stamp it on the two sides. That's where this gets a little tricky, I think. Because you do want to do your stamping first. All right, so if I pinched it together this way, then I would want to stamp here and there. All right, so that helped me figure out. Hopefully that was easy to follow along. So this one, and that one. So this one I want to stamp thankful, and then maybe put some of those fun little ducks. Okay. So I've got pecan pie, and I'm going to stamp this thankful. I just love the font on this one. Let's see, I'm pretty sure that's been cleaned. Then you just hold it, let the ink soak in there. Thankful, love that. And I think I want to just kind of add a couple of these little, and I'm just going to do one, couple of the little leaves here. Oops, see what happens? That's okay. So I apparently used this before and didn't clean it. But on one of my cards, I'm using it as a background. So I think that's why I have it all together. But that's okay. It's still all right. This is going to be this one and then this one. So let's get out our Cajun Craze. And we're going to put those ducks on there. When it comes together, you'll see why I did that. Okay. So now, oh, here we go. We'll put that back and set that aside. So we're just going to fold this just like so. We're going to take our tear and tape off, and then we're just going to fold this down. And that's why we stamped first. So next, we're going to slowly add our adhesive. And then this final square one that we didn't notch on either side, you just need to leave one of them unnotched on the side like that. And it'd be a nice firm base. I say that because you could see I did notch all the sides, and that's what happens, and I want it to be squared. So just leave one of them that's not notched. It doesn't matter which one, really. Okay. And so we're going to add a little bit of adhesive or tear and tape. Don't need a whole lot. You just need a little bit. Oops. Pull that one way back. And just bring one side down. Bring in a little bit more tear and tape. All thumbs all of a sudden. And then this one we'll bring down. And the last little bit of tear and tape here. This one's going to seal it all together for the bottom piece. Tear and tape is great adhesive for 3D items. This cute little milk carton will hold quite a lot of little candies. Hold some peppermints for Christmas time. All the fun things. Now once you've got it together, you can use your bone folder to just kind of tap it. Ensure that bottom is down there. And then too, if for some reason your cardstock, maybe you're not using Stampin' Up, I get it sometimes. You've got some other cardstock you want to use. You could always do a 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 thick white, and then glue it to the bottom and just make it even firmer. So that's a possibility. Now we're going to use some embellishments to cover up my little oopsie, but that's really cute. And this is where you want to make sure those, all the pieces that needed to be burnished were burnished. And then these two are going to come together. Just like that. And just push it together. And voila, you've got your cute little milk carton, right? Now we do have a little bit more stamping to do. I'll move the template over. And like I said, I got these little pieces here. And we're going to stamp them just like that. So Let me clean this one because I don't remember what I just used. There we go. All right, so we're going to use Cajun Craze and Early Espresso for the cutest little acorns. Nothing says fall like a cute little acorn. We're going to put an acorn in that corner. And we're going to put one in that corner. We're going to do this for both sides. Yep. And then we're going to use this stamp a lot. Then we're going to, oh, I remember I had this Marion Bright. I'm working on a 3D fun project for next week. Cute, cute little, you'll love it. Cajun Craze. It's one of the coordinating colors. And we're just going to splatter it right there. Sometimes the paper pumpkin kits are just so perfect. You know, you're going to get all these fun stamps that you can reuse over and over again. Ooh, and I got some ink on me. How did I do that? Well, let me use my chamois and clean my fingers a little bit. Gonna have some nice inky fingers. All right. And I always close these up because, well, I still get it on me, but that's okay. All right, so what side do I want to put everything on? Let's see. Get to decide where you want everything to go. Liquid glue at this point probably would be the best for adhering these, because then you have a couple of seconds to move it around so that it's centered. And we're just going to do the card stock. Well, it's actually the card front because it's a paper pumpkin. And we're going to use on the two opposite sides. And we're going to add our stamped cardstock piece. Oh, I got something up there. My goodness. That's okay. Oh, maybe we should have done it the opposite way. That's okay. That's fine. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? Thankful. So this will be a good one to, I don't know, maybe some of those fall Ghirardelli fun little treats or something. Just like that. Okay. And so now, I didn't use embellishments for the first one, but I think I'm going to want to do that for the second one here. And I have some, you know, lots of retired, but still very usable file glass dots. This was Wild Wheat, Cajun Craze, which coordinates, Cherry Cobbler, kind of looks like pumpkin to me, a Mossy Meadow. Let's see. I think I want to use a couple of these. A couple of these little embellishments. Why not? Maybe one up here. Kind of cover up the little mess up there. Creative, whatever you want to call it. So there is our fun little treat. So now we're going to jump right in to the cards. And remember, I wanted to do all of them exactly as shown, but I just had to mix and match and move them around, and I cut them up. So no rhyme or reason. Here's the first card. And this one, it's an original that we're making together. And look at the beautiful envelopes. That's absolutely gorgeous. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. And this one. And that one. Absolutely beautiful. I think that the refill for this one may be available. That's always fun, right? And so this one, I just got a piece of Cajun Craze cardstock. And so it's basically putting this one together, but as you'll see, I did not use the exact background. Instead, I brought in one of these that I cut in half. Okay, so this is going to be the front. And it's pretty much going to be flush. But this is the one we're going to stamp with all of the leaves, kind of as it's shown. Actually, no, we're not. That's the second card. This is the one we're working with. That's what I get for saying that, because there's no sample, right? So basically, to me, this sample is beautiful, but it hides all that beautiful background. And then this one, to me, it just brings out the framing of the tree, and I just love that. And I don't know if I'm going to use this one, although I tossed it in here. Probably not, but I definitely want to, put the word thankful in there, and then we'll stamp that cute acorn again. Yeah, I think we'll set that one aside. I can't remember why I tossed that one in, but anyway. All right. We're going to use Early Espresso. I may have used pecan pie before, but that's okay. Super cute. Love the acorns. When I've taken my sweet fur baby for his walks, the timing of daylight has changed tremendously, but we've noticed, which is really interesting, the squirrels are really getting after all the acorns. I think I read somewhere it's going to be a long, cold winter, maybe. That's very interesting. All right. I'm taking a chance, but make sure it all is going to stay where it needs to stay. In fact, last year about this time, the trees had almost gotten rid of most of their leaves, and I was walking along. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but walking along, and the leaves were covering these big walnuts that were out there, and I actually stepped on the walnut and the leaves, and I slipped. My right knee buckled under me, and I landed awkward. Thankfully, nothing was broken last year at this time, but it was like, whoa. So this year, we're very careful when we go in that area and walk. But we've noticed that those little squirrels were definitely gathering quite a few. All right. Let's try something here. I'm going to just cut this guy right in half. Probably ought to get the smaller ones out, but I don't want him to show through. And I'm going to put them on dimensionals. It was a year ago that I went to the doctor and found out that I had arthritis in my knees, of all things. I thought, what? At my age, I'm not that old. I don't know. My parents warned me, as you age, things are going to fall apart. But I thought, not me. We always think that, don't we? Not me. Super cute. Okay. Now, we are going to add this one flush, which means from top to bottom, left to right. I'm going to hold down one side, lift it up, and then I'm going to add in adhesive. Oop, there he goes again. That's all right. He is a good watch puppy. All right. And of course, I probably need something for the inside. So I'll definitely need to do that. But this is my take on the first card. And I probably could have put some of those. In fact, I still can. Let's do that. I know I'm taking a chance, but let's do that. Cajun Craze. Oh yeah, there we go. So even with the originals, I did change them up, but that's what this one is. All right, so there's that one. And on to our second card. And then this one, I just brought in some, let me think, what's this color? It is Crumb Cake. And that's the other half for this card. Basically, I wanted to extend the kit a little bit, and that was my way of doing so, bringing in some of the coordinating colors. Nice, simple, easy fold. And of course, this beautiful ribbon. Basically, oh, it feels like there's two. Ooh, is there? Feels like there's two here. Ooh, it's not. It's just nice and thick. Wow. Very nice ribbon. So basically, we're just going to kind of like fold it, and it's just going to hang off to the side there. Look how beautiful that is. Okay. We've got these. And I'm only seeing two. I don't know. We may or may not use those. But first, we're going to stamp those really gorgeous leaves that we used. I'm going to clean it too real quick. Using our chamois. Makes some interesting noises there. And we're going to use Cajun Craze, which, by the way, I believe that was the ink spot. And we are just going to stamp Love to Stamp. This is my therapy, my weekly therapy. No right or wrong on this one, just kind of add those leaves wherever you want. And when you stamp, you want to make sure that you have it's flat and that your block doesn't like butt up against something, because if it does, it won't be a clear impression. I always like to give you all those fun tips. There we go. All right. A couple right there. No such thing as overkill, right? Wishing you the happiest of days. So we're going to go ahead while we have our ink open and get that stamp out. And I did, or I thought I did, I had cut out that circle from the add-on. So I thought I might use it. Beautiful. Yes, it was Cajun Craze. That was the ink spot. I had to double check on that one. I couldn't remember for sure. Wishing you the happiest of days. So now what we're going to do is put this together. I'm not really following the directions. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. So we're going to have that one there. We're going to have one kind of down this direction. And I think that's going to be flat. I think that's what I want to do, is have it flat. Same for this one. Have it flat as well. Another great thing about paper pumpkin kits or kits in general is you can take them with you because they come in a box that you can travel with them. All right, let's add some beautiful shine here. I think we're only going to do 2. And then we are going to add our ribbon. So we're going to add a little bit, just like that. Set that one to the side, and then we're going to pop this one up on dimensionals. Thank you, Spotty. He likes to give me kisses. Little fur baby. All right. I guess you can tell I'm not like in any big rush tonight. I'm just enjoying stamping. Hope you are too. All right, so wishing you the happiest of days. This can be for pretty much any occasion. And again, it's going to be flush. Same top to bottom. Now this one didn't have embellishments, but I think I might want to use some on this one because I just think it's such a really nice card. I'm like, I love embellishments. I could be called the embellishment queen. I just absolutely love them. And, you know, if I have them, why not? Okay. Wink Stella would work too. Wink Stella, but that's all right. Let's see. See, this mossy meadow looks really good. Oh, hold on. Let's do this one's cherry cobbler, but nobody will know, right? And then we want to put the little mossy meadows, one on each side, because why not? 3. Let's put a couple more. We'll put one down there. And let's put one kind of over here. Just kind of adds a little something to it, I think. And that's card number 2. Totally different. Well, this one is it's closer to the original, but I extended it because I made a lot of different alternatives that are fun. And so this one is going to be the 3rd card. I think there's 8 total tonight. So like I said, no hurry, just enjoying stamping, sharing all the fun. And this is the other cardstock piece that I'm bringing in. And then for sure, this one, I trimmed it down and it's going to be flush as well. So I just basically cut it in half. Oh, I guess we do need to, we're going to stamp first and then we'll put that one together. All right, so we have Thinking of You, which I believe is on the table here somewhere. Okay. I wonder what I did with it. I'm not seeing it. I have quite the messy table, so. Well, I think I'm going to do I'm Thinking of You. If not, I will find it and add it later. How about that? Because I don't know where it's at. I don't see it. But we are going to stamp our little ducks at the top with Cajun Craze. Just make sure I have them going the correct way. Okay. Right in that corner. Yep. Looking good. Thinking of You. I wonder what I did with that one. It's probably right in front of me and I'm just like not seeing it for some reason. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead and add this one to the front. This is nice because you've kind of got an idea of, okay, how far in you want to bring it. Kind of a guide. To get it as closely centered as possible. When I've got it where I want it to be, I'm going to hold down one side, lift up the other, and add some adhesive. I think that's pretty close. And then next, we're going to add our cute little fox. Looks like he's going to be right there. And then the three little pumpkins. Or pumpkins. Mine's going to hang off the side just a tiny bit, because why not? And then again, this one's going to be flush, meaning top to bottom and left to right. Hold down one side as I apply some adhesive. And then the thinking of you whenever I find it. Which is bizarre because I don't see it. I don't know what I did with it. But yeah, it's somewhere on the table. Oh, here it is. Found it. It was to the right of me. Okay, all good. Cajun Craze for thinking of you. This is a really sweet card. And I do like that sentiment, thinking of you. Because it just seems to me that card making and sending cards in general, just sending cards in general, seems to be kind of a dying thing. And I don't know why that is. I'm trying to get better about not only creating these cards, but sending them out in the mail. Because there's nothing like getting an unexpected thinking of you card, right? Gives you all those warm and fuzzy feelings when that happens. Okay. Thinking of you. Nice and simple. So we have three really nice and simple cards. Now, are you ready for our alternative cards? Lots to share with that. So let's just pick up the first one and get started. This one is a fun one because sometimes when I'm cleaning my work desk, I'm moving things around. I'm trying to clean up and organize. Sometimes I come across something like this. It's just, there's no rhyme or reason, but I measured and I guess this was a template, but I didn't put it together. And this was one of those things where I thought, okay, this would be kind of interesting to try to come up with something for an alternative. So that's kind of what this is. And what I came up with from that was this card. So this was a lot of fun to just kind of create. You open it up, you've got your show off this really beautiful paper. And you've got this nice little insert. And of course, we're going to be doing some stamping. So we'll need to clean our stamps. Season. And then I have the of thanks that I forgot to put in this one that we will do. And that is coming from the Sign Design. This one's really cool. It's got Halloween, the New Year, Christmas, all occasion, spring. I mean, this is a great stamp bundle to get. It's one of the online exclusives that's available. And it's pretty much all the seasons. It's really, really cool. So that's what I brought in for this kit. That's what this fun piece is all about. So it's, this piece here is 6x4, scored at 3. And then 4x3 for the paper, the front. And then this piece, which I used crumb cake, is 6 1/4 that's scored at 2 inches by 5 1/2. So really simple template, but really fancy, I think, fun card, right? And so we're bringing in some extra paper, but then some of the pieces from the kit, right? And then this piece here that's absolutely gorgeous. So see why I couldn't just use that one as one complete card? I'm getting multiple cards from that one. And then I brought in our holographic resin dots because it really brings out that nice little shine there. All right, sometimes when I'm, doing all this, I forget, oh, the embellishments. Don't forget the embellishments. And then I go back later, I missed the embellishment on that one. All right, I don't know if I had this one written down. So let's just get the ruler out here. It's 5.5, and I basically cut it by 2 inches. I don't know what I did with that tiny little piece that was left over, but this one's just basically going to be flush on the front there. Once I get it where I want it, I'm going to hold down one side and lift this one up to add the adhesive. And then this one we are going to stamp using pecan pie on crumb cake. And I definitely need to clean since we use the craze, Cajun craze, with it on the card before. All right. No right or wrong on this one either. Love the leaves on this one. What do you think about this card? Fancy fun. That's what I should call it, a fancy fun fold. Fancy fun card. Looks like fall and all the falling leaves. So cute. Absolutely love it. Okay. Wishing you the happiest. And I think we need to clean that one as well. I don't remember what size. I think that was one of the punches. All right. When in doubt, clean it, because otherwise you might have an unusual color come out. Pardon me. Wishing you the happiest of days. Very nice sentiment. And the nice thing about circles, when you're wanting to stamp, you don't have to get it perfect. It's going to look amazing. And then I'm going to use 3 dimensionals, but I'm not quite there yet. We want to stamp the inside piece next. And I think we're going to use pecan pie again. Season of thanks. And here's the of thanks that I forgot on this one. Superb. Love that one. And what did I do with that stamp set? All right. It was here a minute ago. There we go. I see it. All right. My little mountain over here on the side sort of fell over. Okay. Season. Again, from the Sign Design. toward the top. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. Season of Thanks. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Love it. Okay, I think that's all the stamping for this one. Oh, nope. We got our little acorn. Got our acorn for the corner. So this was totally my creation here, for sure. That's what I love about templates. You get a template and then it just opens up endless possible different possibilities. I just love it. Okay. Alrighty, so here's our piece. It's going to go on the inside. This one is Crumb Cake, and that's Basic Beige. All right, so this one is trimmed just a little bit on each edge, so it's a nice fit there. When you get it where you want it, you're gonna hold it down and then add your adhesive. I'm getting low. And for this one, we want the little leaves here to be flush or flat. And this is going to be the interesting part. You just want to kind of get an idea where you're going to sit this piece. I'm just eyeballing it. You could totally measure it, but I think that's pretty close. Holding it down. And then start to apply that adhesive. It's going to be really, really close. And then this one's going to go right on top. And how easy is that? Love it. Okay. And the circle, when you stamp on it, it doesn't matter where you stamp, it's going to be perfect each time. That's one of the things I love about circles. All right, so we're going to bring in the resin dot. We're going to put one right over here. And I think we're going to do a couple of the little ones. Excuse me, right over here. Kind of takes on whatever color you put it on. Really nice. Holographic resin dots. Love those. And there's our alternative card number 1. And next is card number 3. Very similar. In fact, almost identical to the first one we made, I guess. Except we're making it a fun fold, and we're bringing in some other colors, some pecan pie, and then some basic beige, and a little bit more stamping. So part of the reason I do this is to show you that you can definitely use your stamps once all the kit contents are used up. Just bring in some paper, and you can still stamp with this amazing stamp set. So every month when you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get all the supplies, but you also have all the stamps and the little ink spot that you can use. So it's a great way to build up your little inks, especially if you're beginning and you're kind of like dabbling in it. Maybe you're not, you know, not quite into crafting yet, or maybe you think you're not crafty, because I know at one point I thought that, but you know, the kits are perfect for creating fun cards. Now this one, I got an 8.5 by 5.5. sheet of cardstock, and I scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. You fold it in half, and then this one's going to fold in half, just like that. First, we're going to set that cardstock piece aside, and we're going to do our stamping. So this is similar to the original that we did. Just kind of find that sweet spot in a minute. And add in all of our little pieces of adhesive. And just be real careful because the edges are delicate. So we basically stepped it up, this card. And just find that sweet spot there. And then we're going to stamp our acorn using pecan pie. So very cute. And we're going to do the acorns on the bottom while we have it out for the inside piece. My card doesn't want to stay open. Doesn't want to cooperate. All right. Again, no right or wrong on this one either. Just kind of, I think I staggered those little cute little acorns. Absolutely adorable. And the beauty is it'll wipe right up. Better clean this one. He's getting a little messy. There we go. So now that we've got the acorn stamped, we're going to bring back in Cajun Craze. We're going to stamp our cute little ducks. Ah, there he is. Make sure I got him going the correct way. Cute. Got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I probably could have put them closer, but that's okay. And I didn't get envelopes out for this one, but you could certainly do that. Stamp the cute little ducks on there, that is. Okay, so for this one, you want to do the inside first. And I'll show you why here in just a second. So this is a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic beige. And then we're going to fold that down. And then this one's basically going to layer on top of that one. That's why you want to put the inside down first. Okay, and so again, I've got it where I want it. So it's going to hide, right? I'm going to lift up. And on this one, you only want to put adhesive on the one side only. Okay. Now we're going to put Thankful down flat. Right there. And then, of course, I had thought, as I was playing around with the kit, after I'd pretty much used almost all the contents, I thought I could get my numbers and alphabet out and do the number 4 and the letter U. Thankful for you. That would be so cute for an alternative as well. So cute. All right, that was alternative number 2. Ready for number 3. And this one is similar to what their sample was for an alternative. And this is where I brought in, I used some of the cardstock from pieces from the kit, but then I brought in some early espresso and some pecan pie, and then the Cajun and the olive. And actually, some of the leaves I got out. The Splendid Autumn. And on some of these, the back side, I just ran them through for just some added dimension texture, I guess you could say. Because you can see there's some really nice colors there. And this is what was left from, I think that was my second pack I've used. And then this one, I think it's retired adhesive back to speckle dots, but it's super cute and it's fallish, so I got them out. And then I did use the circle die that comes with, well, you can purchase it, but it's part of the, I think, September Circle of Season dies. So I used a little circle for that one. I'm going to use that one. And then, of course, whenever I've die cut and I'm using glue dots for my adhesive, I like to just put them directly on there, and then that way I don't lose them because they're really, really tiny and cute. And I had, went ahead and pre-cut those out. But I like this because it's still showing a lot of the front of this card, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then I cut the ribbon in half so that I can make 2 cards. So I'm all about extending my kit as much as possible. And then here is our basic beige card stock for the card base. I think we will stamp and then we will layer. And I don't remember what color I used, so I'm going to clean it because I've been using Cajun Craze and some of the other colors, so it's probably best to clean it. Okay. Normally, we only go about an hour, but Paper Pumpkin, I like to really show all the fun alternatives, and so that's what I'm doing with this one. And so let's just add a couple of adhesive places here. No right or wrong on that one either. Those are going to be on dimensionals. And then we're going to put a little adhesive right there. And then I'm going to use my ribbon scissors because I want to give this one just a tiny little trim there, just like that. All right. I was going to use the white, but I realized, let's use the same color that's going to coordinate with the card base. So that's what I did. So I could probably use that one for Christmas next month. Like the word joy. That would be really, really cute. See, I just sit here and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know what I can do with that. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, so, oh yes, we want to add all of these. And you can see this was used with the designer paper. I'm just going to throw one right there. Same for this one. Let me just get an idea where this is going to sit. All right, so I'll put him right there. And this one next to him. And the final little leaf right there. All right. So next, we're going to stamp it in pecan pie. Wishing you the happiest of days. Pretty much an all occasion on this one. Again, working with that circle. I love it because It's not going to look crooked no matter how you stamp it. It's going to look perfect. That's one of the secrets to stamping too. All right, and so of course we are going to pop these up on dimensionals. Let's put 3 of them on this one. We'll do that in just a second, because I remembered there's a trick to that one. All right, so that's in a good place. And I'm going to see where I'm going to place my acorn, and that's where I'm going to put the dimensional, right there. Hopefully that makes sense. And same thing here. Let me add that dimensional right there. So fun. Now we're going to add this one, and this one I did trim it down just a tiny little bit. Not exactly like I do always, but close enough. And then we're going to put our fun little adhesive backed speckled dots. It's kind of funny because I had got these last year and I totally forgot about them. And again, I was cleaning and I thought, okay, these are definitely going to be cute on this card. Because how many of you have fun embellishments just waiting to be used? That's what this was for sure. Let's see, I probably could have done a green one. I guess I'll stick to the, looks like the pecan cola. There we go. And lots for the next time. So card number 3 alternative. I'm really excited about the next one. It's a really cool fun fold. And this is a card I made last year for Christmas, and it's one of those, it's a fun fold that can be folded multiple directions, right? And so this one, I was like, okay, I'm going to do something with that fold. He's usually hanging out on my desk here. And I brought in the coordinating Darling Duckling. I've yet to see an alternative out there using Darling Duckling. And I thought, oh, this would be perfect. And that's what I came up with. So again, stamping and adding a little bit of cardstock with that same fun fold. 2 1/8, 4 1/4 is where you score it. And we get to stamp the pumpkins, the cute little pumpkins. So this one is as is, and it's the Darling Duckling that's in the, I guess it's the corn stalk there. And so that's what made me decide, let me just bring in, and sure enough, it looks good. Because I've yet to use this cardstock as much as I thought I would. So this is a great opportunity to do that. And when you stamp Cajun Craze on Darling Duckling, that's the look you get. I love it. And again, we're going to do Thinking of You using Cajun Craze. And I brought in a little bit of cardstock, Cajun Craze, 3 by, ooh, let's see here, 7/8. So not quite an inch. All right, so here's our pumpkin. Right there, super cute. You could totally use that on your envelopes too. Like the bottom left or something. Thinking of You. just apply nice even pressure. And for our little ducks, flying geese. No, I've been saying ducks this whole time. These are geese. My goodness, where have I been? These are little geese, flying geese. Why would I say ducks? Did y'all notice what I just did? Hopefully you didn't notice that. Super cute though, right? Anywho, I wonder if you noticed that. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm not going to point it out. All right, so we got this cute little fox. There was only 3 in the kit, so I decided to keep it as close to the sample. And it's going to be right there. And then this one. This one's going to be a little tricky, but you can do it. I'm going to add it just like that. And tricky in the sense that I'm just going to give it a little notch. You don't have to, but that's what I did. Just a tiny little notch, just like that. And I should have let that dry because it's smearing. Yikes. What a great fun fold card. Okay. And so this one's going to be flush to the bottom. And I'm trying to eyeball it. That looks like it's pretty close. I'm going to hold down one side, lift up this one, and up to the score line, and not anywhere else. And we're going to add our adhesive. Okay, and so we do that, and we put this one on last, and we're going to put it on dimensionals. We're going to put 3. And the reason that we put this one on last is because it's going to help us figure out exactly where we want to place the thinking of you. There we go. Isn't that fun? I really do love making alternatives with the paper pumpkin. So I don't know if you noticed my mistake. I'm not going to point it out, but I just have to laugh because you know what? This whole time I called them ducks and they're geese. I feel silly, but that's okay. All right, so that was what, number 3 or 4? I've kind of forgotten now. We've got, I think, 2 more. So here we go. And so here's another one that I brought in some retired, and this one's another fun one to make. I brought in some of the retired ribbon. I've had it up there for a while. And again, when I was looking for what can I use that would kind of really make a nice alternative, I realized the acorns would be the perfect to stamp on. And so that's what we're going to stamp on the ribbon. It's like a, oh, I had it here the other day. I don't know if I put it back up or not, but it's the perfect one. And I'm sure if you've been stamping for a while, you may have that in your stash somewhere. So here's all of our little pieces and stuff. Ooh, and we've got the inside with the acorns as well. So we're going to do a lot of acorns and thankful for you. And the for you is from the tags of thanks, which I think might be on the last chance list, maybe. I was going to look that up and I just kind of forgot. So we're going to go ahead and do the early espresso. because believe it or not, you can stamp on ribbon. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to stamp on ribbon. And we'll stamp that one. We're going to put all these together. So the inside, we've got a couple at the bottom. That's the inside piece. We'll set him aside, and look how easy it is. Make sure your stamp is inked up very well. Give it a few seconds to soak in. And I try to use the darkest color that I have. And just keep stamping all the way across. And this, it's like a burlap. This would work with, it's about 6 inches approximately. It would work with pretty much any of your ribbons. If you have a white ribbon, you could certainly use that. But see how fun and easy that is? I just absolutely love it. All right, we're going to do the leaves in a minute. In fact, I think that's what we're doing next. Do all of our stamping. So thankful for you. Oop, there we go. We're going to use Cajun Craze. And I don't remember, so let me clean this one real quick. Couldn't remember what color I had used. Make sure that one's clean. Okay. So here we go with Cajun Craze. Thankful. And For You. Love the font. So pretty. Now while we have this open, again, I don't remember, so let's clean this one real quick. I think that might have been the pecan pie for the other card, so it's always good to clean it. There we go. All right, so this one, we're just going to stamp it a couple of places randomly. That's good for that one. And then, of course, Early Espresso for our cute little acorns. Ooh. Very cute. Okay. Now we can assemble. And I didn't use any embellishments on this one because, you know, you don't need to do that on every card. You can, but I thought, nah, I don't need to do that. We're just going to layer our circle. And we definitely want to do this part before we put any more together. So we've got this little piece here that is 4 1/4 by 2 inches. And it's going to go toward the bottom. And I'm going to trim off the bottom here in just a minute, no biggie. Just turn it upside down and trim it over like that. No problem. And then we're going to do this one where we have it across. And I'm going to flip it and add that adhesive to hold the ribbon. Let's double check that real quick. Ah, there we go. Just like that. Here's our early espresso card base. All right, just like that. I'm going to add our top piece. And here's our inside piece. Basic beige. Really like that color. And then next, this one's going to go like right there with dimensionals. Just double checking where I'm going to want those to go. Alrighty. Just like that. And then we're going to put these guys together. This was just to show you that it, you know, would fit. Oh, I probably could use that one, but anyway, fun concept. I love stuff like that. All right, so this one, we used it as an acorn this time, but I want to say a month or two back, we used it for the cute little strawberries for that little kit. Super cute. And then again, this one is going to be on a dimensional. Just like that. Just kind of emphasizes it's so cute. And then we've got our little bitty die cut leaf that we are going to put on a dimensional. Oh, I'm seeing a comment. How long did you need to let the ribbon dry after stamping the acorns? Not too long. I just tried to do all the stamping first and then go back and put everything together. So not too long. Of course, you couldn't tell I got smudge everywhere, but all right. So there's that one. And you can see how you can use your stamps, bring in other stamps as well, and create some amazing alternatives. All right. Last but not least, for alternatives, Athena Originals, if you will, using the note cards and the extra leftover pieces, and we're bringing in our little blending brush. And we're stamping the envelope. Score the inside. This is a note to myself. Love that. Okay. Score the inside at 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and then use the blending brushes for the effect. Okay, cool. I'm glad I made that note, or I would have forgotten about it. All right, so we're definitely going to stamp our envelope, but I want to set it aside just for a moment. Here's all the pieces. Here's our note card, and note cards, by the way, are really thick. So when we score, we're going to really apply some pressure, okay? read that note again. 1/2 inch and 1 inch. All right. So bring in our Stampin' Trimmer, one of my favorites. The cutting blades for mine is at the top, and then the lighter color is the scoring blade. So I'm going to bring it in at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. All right, so here's the 1/2 inch. So this is note card, so it's very thick. So I'm applying a little bit of pressure. All right, and then at 1 inch, same thing. Apply nice, heavy pressure. Then you'll see those 2 score lines. Just gives it a little added texture, dimension, little something extra, okay? And then we're gonna put these approximately 1/2 inch. And this is a great way to use up some of your leftover little pieces from any of your designer papers, all of that. This technique right here is really easy to use up little pieces. And that one's crooked. Let's fix that. There we go. Sometimes using the Stampin' Sew Plus, I can't fix it, so that was a miracle. There we go. Never know. All right. Then next, we're going to put this one in, and we've used all of that up from the kit contents. And then we're going to add another little guy here. We still have a few pieces. We could probably make what I would call a Lone Ranger card where he's all by himself. All right, Thankful for You. We're going to do that one again. For this one, and this came with the kit. This piece here. Ooh, I've got some smudges going on, so I guess we're going to have a few more pumpkins on the bottom of that one. Okay. Trying to remember what I did for that one. Okay. Cajun Craze. We're going to stamp our little pumpkins because I kind of messed with it a little bit. Covered it right up. Yay. All right, so here is Thankful. For You. Now I could have cut out some more, pieces, but gotta clean that one because that was Cajun. It's time to get out pecan pie, or no, early espresso. But I wanted to use the stamps because that's the purpose for me for alternatives, to show how you can use your stamps even after all the kit contents are used up. I'm gonna have to clean my chamois. It's getting really pretty and rainbow colored. Okay. So I cleaned it. So I'm just going to use the one leaf, and we'll see if I cleaned it well enough or not. Yay, it worked. Awesome. Okay. And then this one I don't necessarily need to do it, but I did for this one. I just got a little bit with the blending brush and just kind of brushed the sides. I think this was one of the techniques I learned probably one of the first things I learned way back when I was scrapbooking, because before I was a stamper, I was a scrapbooker. So, and then I started stamping. I was like, oh, I love this. Love all the fun things you can do. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed all these fun projects, because I certainly enjoyed making them. And, you know, when I'm doing the alternatives for Paper Pumpkin, it takes me, I'd say, a good 2 weeks to just play around with the kit and all the different things that are here and available. And, of course, we're going to get these out, the fall glass dots. And I think we're going to do one of these over here, along with the little mossy meadow and a big cherry cobbler one right down there. So I got to use a couple of retired product pieces, a current one. It was a lot of fun to put this one together. Oh, I almost forgot. We got our envelope. Don't forget the envelope. And the note cards are really fun to bring in when you have Paper Pumpkin kits. Because again, you're stamping, and that's the fun. Love to stamp. Okay. So we got our cute little thankful for you. And I needed some thank you cards, so this was perfect timing. And then, I don't know if you can see it, the little score lines, but great way to use some of your little pieces that you have left over and make some really unique cards. So I'm gonna have to move all these stamps aside because there's ink on them and I need to clean them all. But there's 1, 2, fun fold 3, 4, a Z fun fold 5, 6. I'm not sure what this fun fold was called, but I just made it my own. So that's 6, and then the 3 originals that I changed up. Just because I can. So that's the Paper Pumpkin for September, the Fall for Toil, and the alternatives. And they're basically all alternatives because I did not make it exactly like that. These two I stuck pretty close, but I totally changed that one up, as you can see. And then I used the card bases for lots of other projects here. So it was a lot of fun to come up with these, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we are going to be back next week with some Christmas and some really fun new things that I've been playing with to share. And I don't want to give too much away, but you will enjoy them. Now, the 18th is our next workshop, and it is 10 a.m. to 5. We're going to have some 3D projects, lots of cards, lots of different fun folds, kind of what you've seen tonight, and possibly a couple of new ones using the arch dies. So I've got lots of fun things planned. Oh, and I almost forgot the 3D project we did at the very beginning. Stamping and using the kit. So yes, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you next week for some more fun. Happy stamping.